Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz, Survivor 41 Live. My name's Brianna, and my co-host Alex is missing, but maybe he'll show up soon. But I'm here with one of my most favoriteest people in the world. Sorry, I'm buzzed. I just did a big shot. Farboda is here. We met playing an online Survivor game, and she doesn't know this, but like I really love her. So I just want to say that. She's brilliant and gorgeous.
I know, it's okay.
Oh, Alex is coming. Alex is coming. Anyway, say hello to the people.
Hi, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Ready to talk shit. Oh, am I allowed to swear?
You're so welcome. Fuck yeah, you are.
Okay, cool. Good, because it was gonna happen.
Let's pretend you're having all because that's how we roll around too. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, yeah. So, what are you thinking of season 41 so far? I'm really curious because I know Alex has had some issues with it as far as
Alex seems to have issues with like the mechanics of the game.
I feel like he just changes hard for him.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't, and I've watched every episode from season 1, like starting on day 1, and I'm
me
like,
too.
oh, this is different. I'm totally cool with it. Yeah, people are resistant to change. So sorry, what do you think about it?
I think the like mechanic with the idols was kind of fun and interesting because it like people have been finding idols so easily, you know what I mean? Like people just have figured out how to find idols, and this made it like it was different, and then they had to like
people like Tony Blachos, right? Like that was bullshit.
Yeah.
After a while, I was just like,
I was like, okay, so what's even the like point of this? So I liked that they were trying to find a different way to make people do that. I don't know if it works. I don't know that they should do this again, but I thought it was interesting.
I mean, curious now too, like, so the whole thing with, hey, guys, come in, guys, it's time to come in, that whole pronoun thing. What did you think about that, for example? That was really interesting, and how like it took Ricard to be the one to say to Jeff, yeah, no, it does matter. The pronouns do matter.
Yeah, well, and I think it's not surprising that it was him also being someone who's like married to a trans person who is like kind of aware of the way that language can affect people. And like, again, like what Evie said, which is like, as a queer person, like I don't care, like it never really bothered me, but I do understand how it can bother people. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't give a shit how Jeff brings people in, like I don't care. And if it like makes people feel better, then like, yeah, why not shift it, you know? Like
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But I do think it's important to like to stay current with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like this is an area where we want to be really positive about everyone and understand that people do have different genders that may not be binary. So, I mean, I think it's important to acknowledge that. That's my feeling about it.
Yeah. And also just like, I know people have problem with guys and dudes as like addressing groups
like
of all
generic
people because,
pronouns.
Because it like assumes that like masculine identities are sort of the like neutral or standard, when that's kind of just like,
oh, good point. I didn't even think about it that way, to be honest.
So I think that's like where a lot of the issue from it comes. But yeah, I'm all for it. I'm glad that Jeff brought it up, and I'm glad that Ricard said something.
I think it was interesting how no one said anything, and then it took Ricard saying it, and then coming back the next time, Jeff having to bring it up.
Yeah.
Do you think that was staged at all? Alex, hi.
Hi, Alex.
Yeah, he's got like the hand of shame in front of his face because he's late. We're discussing the whole right now. We're talking about Jeff Probst with the should he say guys come in now or whatever he said.
Come on, guys.
Come on in, guys. Yeah.
And I don't think it was staged.
No, you think he literally, because so he was like, well, I'll leave it up to you people, you know, do you want me to say guys come in or, you know, come on in guys? And then no one spoke up. And then the next time they didn't, he was like, well, I was hoping someone would say it. Like,
I got the sense that like there was an argument about it with the producers, and Jeff was like, fine, we'll ask them. and then everyone was put on the spot. It was their first day. They hadn't had any challenges yet. Like, who's gonna
Right.
speak up about? I don't know. I thought it was like,
Yeah, and like, would that affect you, right? And
yeah,
Alex, we never really discussed that. Anyway, hi, this is my actual co-host, Alex, with the blue hair. He looks very tired, but he lives in Germany, so he's excused.
Sorry. I don't know what
Okay,
ran over
honey.
me thinking that this was happening at 8, but my memory is messed up. Okay. In terms of that topic, I agree that the topic itself, gender identity, it is something important to talk about. It is something that is very current and something that deserves to be recognized. I think that the way that it was portrayed that first night was a little odd
yeah, it was
because
weird.
It was awkward as hell, right? It was super
It-
awkward conversation.
it like
Yes.
opened the floodgates for like people who love to hate to like obviously jump on Ricard for disagreeing.
Mhm.
Because oh yeah, Evie didn't have a problem with that, and it wasn't the most elegant way to like go about it, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree.
You know what? Maybe we should all just go by they. Like, at a
De-gender
certain
everything.
point, who fucking cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to be calling out someone's gender every time we talk to them or refer to them? Like, how important is it? Seriously. We could all be you peeps. You,
the gender neutral bitch.
No, at my job, and this is, we should probably start talking about the episode, but at
Yeah.
my company, they make us take inclusive language, things like, and everyone must have their pronouns on their profile. So like, I think things are changing, but I work in Silicon Valley. I don't actually live there anymore. I live by the beach, but it's a different world here, but it's
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah, I think
Like,
different
let's
circles.
make it a non-thing, actually. That to me is really what we should do. Like, that's nobody's business, to be honest. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
Yes.
as nice as it would be, there is a whole world of people who think that it's so unacceptable that you're going to try to tell them what to do and what not to do, that it's going to be hard to push through.
oh yeah, I think people are really invested in like gender norms and patriarchal blah 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 blah. I think it's going to be a long
Yeah.
time before any of that is
Yeah.
able to be like really destructured, but like I could talk about that for 5 hours.
So could I. So could I. But the real question is, do you think Jeff Probst was trying to, is that the outcome he was looking for?
I think it
was he
is.
looking for an opportunity for him to be like, look, I'm so cool now. Now I caught up to you guys. And Gen Z, cool. I'm still relevant.
Maybe, I don't know. I like to believe that
I
he
don't
wanted
know,
to change
Anita.
it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have to change anything he didn't want to change, I think he has enough power in that show.
He is that
Does.
show. Anyway,
I mean, honestly,
So-
he like changed. He like changed the walkout at Tribal Council where he doesn't say his blurb, after someone's voted out anymore, and he's just like, "Grab your torches, head back to camp." Because in the
he
past,
doesn't say the tribe has spoken.
well, no,
does.
that's not what I mean. Like, usually before like he sends them off back to camp, he just says something like smart ass-ish beforehand in other seasons. Like,
Oh.
well, if this vote shows anything, and now he's
Yeah,
just like,
right.
grab your torches, head back to camp. And he didn't ask
Bye,
anyone if they wanted
motherfuckers.
to skip
Peace
their
out.
like. He didn't ask anyone if he wanted to skip these kind of blurbs that he always says.
I
He
see.
does
I wonder
change
if it's
that
the
this couple
editing too. Because it's clear
Yeah.
to me that they had some kind of shift of like director of photography or like some kind of editor shift this season. So I don't know like how much of that is like post-production and how much of that is actually changed while they're shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
mad though. to
Yeah, it's
have,
fine. I
Like
don't care.
changes in the states. I kind of, yeah. Like, first of all, I want everyone to be sensitive to people's pronouns and their gender, and second of all, I'm cool with it changing. Fine. I don't too tired. And what Farota was saying before you got here, Alex, is that finding idols in seasons past had almost become formulaic. So to change it up, there's a different situation, and to make the three tribes dependent on each other, like it's kind of nice because it had become so trite, Tony style to find every freaking idol, Russell
Mhm.
Hantz style.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with them like changing the dynamics of everything. The only thing that was a little is obviously that it takes the hidden aspect away because
Yes.
everyone's gonna know,
Everyone
like
knows.
everyone
I
knew
know, that's
everything.
weird.
I think it
right?
could have played out
Yeah.
differently though if people didn't tell so many other fucking people what was going on.
But didn't
you
they
know,
have
like-
to? Because you have to like say the weird phrase.
But
that
they
the-
didn't have to tell
But they
other
wouldn't know
people
the
on their
phrase.
tribe.
That's a
Exactly.
good
They
point.
wouldn't have to.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. Yeah.
have to know what was
Mhm.
going on.
I
But
don't know. I don't know. So this episode really starts with everyone, like no one trusts each other at this point. It's crazy. Nobody knows what's going on. No one trusts each other. Everyone who said they were working together like starts to question their relationships with them.
right. I have a question. Why does everyone hate Erica so much on that? Like, why? I don't understand.
And
There's-
why do they think she's a threat?
I don't-
Like
I
they're
have
like
no
she's really
idea.
smart and she's really sneaky. She doesn't
Shan's
seem
like
that
just
smart and
talking shit
sneaky to
about
me.
her. Like, I don't know.
There's
She's
like-
like that's a shield,
there's like honestly, there's probably a lot of things that we don't see about Erica, which
Yeah.
for whatever reason they're trying to hide from us. I don't know what like the exact purpose behind it is. Maybe like maybe Erica's winning the season and they're trying to hide it from us because of how like intense and amazing and threatening she was this whole time. I think we're getting glimpses, like based on how she's been navigating this merge, of how good she actually is.
Mhm.
Because I don't really think that it's a fluke that she made it as far as she has. It's just that we're not getting the full context behind it.
I just get a
Like-
sense if she was actually making any really intense, crazy, sneaky moves, they would be showing us instead of just like showing us how Shan's like nuts every episode.
Like the villainous mastermind. I know. What has Erica done at all that would give you the idea that she's smart
She set up
or
this vote this
sneaky?
episode, so I was
Mhm.
like, good on her.
Well, she set up this vote. At the last vote, she was kind of like, at the last vote, you could kind of like see scenes from her. Like
I do
her
think she's
talking
smart
to-
and a good player, to be clear. I don't think she's
Yeah,
like floating, but
I
She
just
was
don't
like-
have enough information, to be honest.
she was like talking
Sorry,
to
Alex.
Xander about like that whole huddle thing. Like it's not like she's oblivious to what's going on around her. Obviously, they also did something to convince Shan and Ricard to vote out Nasir before them, when Nasir was probably going to be
Good point.
a number.
yeah.
There's things that we're just not
Fair.
seeing for some reason, but everyone that she's
Yeah.
wanted out so far has left.
I guess so.
Maybe she is making moves behind the scene that we're not.
I guess I
behind-
interpreted
behind the
that
scenes
more
we're
as,
not
like,
seeing.
Sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No, it's totally fine.
I interpret that more as her like being jumping on opportunities when like other people put out names because she's very much on the bottom, but it's hard to know like what is. Because like that's what I would be
Bas-
doing if I was in her position. If I was like
Yeah.
on the bottom and I was like, they can go home, they can go home, like on it. I will work on that. Like
Mhm.
It's about
Yeah.
freaking time though that people jumped on the Shan train, because come on, man. I was like, are these people fucking stupid or what?
when she was oh no, it was Liana who asked Xander for the idol.
Oh,
on
that
the-
was ridiculous.
funny.
But before that, it was Shan with Ricard.
yeah.
And the whole here, give me your advantage. So
I'm like,
can
I don't know what
trust
that
you.
pattern is like of people asking for that this season. It's so weird.
Yeah,
to me.
right. I know. I totally agree. And the thing with Shan is she's like overt villainous, and maybe Erica's like behind the scenes villainous.
possible.
I don't know. Shan was too overt. Like after a while, people start to understand what's going on.
Mm.
Mhm.
which
Yeah,
was
I mean, I feel
hilarious.
like Shan was not even really like given the greatest of hands because she already basically had to play a full game to get to the end, like voting for people out of her tribe.
Mm. Mhm.
So it's kind of difficult to lose track of that when you know that this is what kept you alive on your original tribe.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, she never really had that many options to go.
I think you're right, but I just also think that she like I don't know. She's controlling. She doesn't know how to compromise. She doesn't know how to like.
I know
She
she's
doesn't seem.
condescending,
She's so
man.
condescending.
Pisses me off.
It doesn't seem like she knows how to separate also like her opinions about someone from like what's reasonable, like to move forward in the game. Like
Hmm.
her being again, like her being so her wanting Erica out so bad and being like, oh well, we want to take out Heather or whatever because she's close to Erica. And I'm like, why? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like Heather's not.
Nasir was a
Mhm.
much better vote.
Yeah.
That was like
It was
he
a much better
actually
vote.
was a threat.
I thought that was a good
Heather
call
is
for
just
them.
not a fucking threat. It's like, is she still on this show?
Mhm.
Didn't she get voted off? Personally, I think it's about the blue visor. That's why she should go.
Yeah, I mean,
Bad
I don't
fashion.
really know if you can call it like the smartest vote in hindsight because
Mm-mm.
Heather and Erica ended up disbanding with the other people to vote her out.
Yeah.
But for all we know, Nasir could have done the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard to
Nasir
tell.
was going to be a threat. I really believe.
Yeah, if he got far in the game, he was gonna like really mess
He
stuff
would get a
up.
sympathy vote because of his. So he's like such a little puppy dog. He's like, I can't believe this. This is so awesome. Oh my
At least
God,
like that he
yeah.
always is like
I would-
honest.
Yeah, I know. To his detriment, poor thing.
I'm
I
so
like
sorry
him.
that
I'm
you
sad
have to
he's
go
gone.
home.
I know, dude. Have you ever seen this show before? Like, don't tell anyone that. Even I know that one.
Yeah, it was too early.
So,
He had to do it right before. But anyway.
What do you think about this cultural alliance, and should they turn on the cultural alliance? That's some real shit right there. It's
Yeah.
like, do I stay with? Because I felt for them. Yes, it's like come together, be powerful. I feel like all groups who are marginalized should come together.
Mhm.
Like when I lived in New York City, I was like, why don't the Black people and the Jewish people get along? I'm the Jew. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like we're two groups of people who have always been villainized. Why aren't we super close, but love that they came together, people who are otherwise maybe marginalized and have been in survivor world, but then they're questioning, right? And eventually they just decided to go for people as individuals and nothing to do with what group they fit into culturally.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Right decision, wrong decision? Should you go with your principles? Should you go with your self-interest? Because that's really the choice, right?
I feel like it's difficult for me to speak on this as a white person. I do like understand like what pushes them together. Like we've had conversations about this before. That people get drawn to each other because they have gone through similar things in life. I think that there was definitely some sort of like, pressure on yourself to be like, like I can't like betray one of my own people like this.
Right. Right.
To me, however, as a viewer of the show, knowing everything that happened, it was very evident that both Deshawn and Shan were probably never going to mesh as players. They've both talked shit on each other multiple times in terms of the game. Like
she's
even
been
like
really condescending to him too. She's been a bitch
even like
to that guy.
even both of them were like talking shit about like Shan being so controlling and Deshawn not being willing to like communicate with her, whatever. Like they were obviously really annoyed with each other for a really long time. And I think that the key mistake that Shan made here was that she relied on this sort of like alliance that was a thing, whereas Deshawn said, listen, I'm still here for $1 million, so I'm just gonna vote her out, even if it's gonna hurt me, like from a personal level. Doesn't make sense for me not to do it. So Shan
these medical school loans are expensive.
Shan got a little too naive. Shan got a little too naive in comparison to.
I really feel like she got what she deserved because she is domineering. She's super condescending. I don't care what your personal story is. I didn't like how she was treating Deshawn. I don't blame him. Like, this man deserves some kudos, right? He's a
Again, his
fucking
honesty with
doctor.
her. Yeah.
His honesty. He stood up for himself and then he came through.
I mean, he did
Danny, on the
backstab
other
her, but you know what I
hand,
mean.
well, no, exactly what I'm saying. I'm glad he had the balls to do it because, like, it was too much. Like, I was, is what's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
this woman is running the game. That's not cool.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think like to your question before, like I think it's hard in the game because you make connections with all of these people. You have to find your alliances, and then at some point you have to decide: are you going to do what's best for your alliance? You're going to do what's best for yourself, and that's hard decision, even if you don't have like a personal attachment to these people for whatever reason. If it's
Right.
because of the cultural thing or because you've scared or shared something else together, like I because I kept thinking like, okay, like if there's a group of queer people, I probably would want to work with them, and then I
And
would have a
that's my
hard time
question. Yeah.
turning
And at
on
what
them. But
point, right?
yeah, and I can understand how it can become really difficult and personal to try to make the decision of like,
Totally.
am I going to be quote unquote selfish in this, or am I going to do what's best for like my alliance? But like that's the decision everybody makes in this
Yeah,
game. Like,
It's
you
true.
have, like-
Take it out of the group sense. Like, who do I trust? Should I trust someone? I
Yeah.
have to trust someone.
yeah,
You know,
You have, like,
so
the
who do I
extreme-
trust?
you got like the extreme case of Liana just totally throwing away her entire alliance from Yase to work with those people.
mhm.
And you know, everyone kind of like handles their choice a little differently, like depending on how strong they feel. I get it. I get like Liana's perspective based on like their special moment that they shared.
Mhm.
I get like all of the sentiments that both Shan and Deshawn share with each other. Like if you feel like you have some sort of like brother, sister like relationship, it gets a little more difficult for you to
Good
vote each
point.
other out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
even if you're with them at final two, you still are gonna have to account for like who should win. Why should you win over that person?
That's
mhm.
one of the things that I thought was really cool
Like
about.
it's
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say that's one of the things I thought was really cool about what Ricard was saying about his relationship with Shan, because they did have a weird relationship. They sort of were
it was
forced
weird.
to trust each other. They did not get along. They
They
argued
did
all the
not
time,
get along.
and they knew
Exactly.
at some point that they were gonna have to like fuck each other over. And so even when he voted her out, he was like, "Sorry, girl," and then she left, and she's like, "You have my vote," which I wish she hadn't said, but. I don't know. I like
I
respect
love
that
him,
relationship.
though.
Me too.
I know. I love Ricard.
I like him too.
He's like one of my favorites. I'm like totally
I-
rooting for Ricard.
I have to say though,
Yeah.
out of all the people who were involved in the Shan vote, I'm not sure if this was incredible timing on Ricard's end.
Mm.
You have several people throwing your name out, wanting you
Yeah.
gone, and you vote out the one person that came to you saying you're the target. What makes you think that targeting the one person who actually has looked out for you in that moment over everyone else who wants you out and threw your name out and looked pissed when you lost immunity? Why would you want this person out?
At the same time, though, I totally see your point, but I think at the same time, like he knows that their relationship is not going to last forever, and
I
think
don't
he
even
was
think they liked each other.
right. So I think he was ready to like cut her before she decided to lie to his face and then say like, yes,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
vote
cut
with all these
him.
people.
Because she was going to, and it wouldn't be probably that long. She
Yeah.
would only be long enough to where she thought he would vote the way she wanted.
And yeah,
I
and I think it
think-
makes sense to do it when he had immunity also, because then she couldn't flip it and try to put
Mhm.
people on him if she found out.
Exactly.
It makes sense, but I think that honestly, if Ricard had like the pull to try to flip the vote into Deshawn or Danny, he could have taken one of their spots in the alliance and then probably did not have to worry about it. But there's again
Possible.
a lot of things that we don't see.
Yeah.
Like to me, at least, I was really confused about Ricard's choice of a move
Mm.
because when you have like the whole world against you, there's one person that's willing to like tell you that you're in danger. I personally would not target that person instantly. Like unless I had been like dying to vote them out for the longest time. But
That's
that
what I feel like
That makes
Frodo
sense.
was saying, basically. Yeah.
that didn't even that didn't make sense. What also doesn't make sense to me is the amount of hate that Shan is getting on social media. Like, yeah, she's been playing
Really?
game. People are fucking
I feel like she
horrible.
deserves all of
I mean-
it. She's fucking duplicitous. I can't stand someone who says they're religious, but then is a total liar. Well, but we've talked about this before.
There are people who have said
why I
and
could
done
never play
much
this
worse.
show.
There's people who have said and done much worse things on Survivor that have not received half the hate that Shan is.
I guess I
getting.
don't like look at social media shit for
I don't
things like
either.
this. So
I don't
I
either.
mostly I assume that lots of people say a lot of garbage on the internet for bad
Right.
people, and most of it's
Right.
not justified. And I think it's like kind of shitty. But I also think I've been game to like talk shit about Shan with everybody. Like,
Same
who I've
here,
talked to
man.
who watches
I
the
hate
show,
people
'cause
who say they're religious but are so comfortable lying. Like that is, I hate
But that's the
hypocrisy. Put it
that's
that way.
the point of the show.
it is the point of the show.
I know.
I just think she's
That's
annoying.
why I
I
could
don't
never do
know.
it.
I think the thing
But
that gets
okay,
me-
so she cried like 20 times on this episode, and I felt like not one of them was authentic. Did you? I mean, like,
I
I
don't
feel like
know.
she's inauthentic and duplicitous. She's like completely two-faced. I don't like
I
that.
can't
bitch.
really.
I really don't.
I can't really invalidate her emotions without exactly knowing what has been.
yeah.
I
mean,
felt like it was theatrical.
I think it's totally fair that she might cry a bunch on a like they're fucking starving and exhausted and haven't seen, they're doing this all the time, and that must be like straining to a degree that like I can't say that I understand. But like for me, the thing about her that like gets me is that she would like, I don't know, she's just so unreasonable and so paranoid, and I just like I and then she just has this, she like just assumes that she's the only one that knows what's going on, and that her interpretation of the facts is the only one that makes any sense. And that like drives me insane. She just like, I don't know.
She
Like,
has a
learn to
lot of ego,
cooperate.
that one.
Yeah,
know,
learn
for
to
real.
cooperate with
I
people.
know. Yeah, she's super domineering. I would not hang out with her at all.
I don't know. I always personally view Survivor for what it is, and I feel like okay, it's fine to like get mad at Shan and get irritated with her for how she's been playing. I think that I don't know, people are just assholes about her, and people are like
Probably,
just
yeah.
hostile and toxic in general. Like the shit that I've read about, like Ricard tweeted that someone DM'd him saying that he hopes like his family dies and shit like that.
Yeah,
because
I
they
mean,
heard
that's
about Shan,
that's
and I'm
really
like,
disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super disturbing.
why do you get so invested in a reality show
I
that's not
know.
about you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't win or lose anything because your favorites get voted out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had Bravo podcasts for a year and a half, and then I finally got sick of that toxicity. But it's the same thing. It's like you see people have these wars online, and I think to myself, do you have anything else to do at all? Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't know. I find it bizarre too. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
So what
Well,
do you
yeah. I
guys
mean,
think about
sure, Shan. is-
Liana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mhm.
she's fine. What do you think about Liana and the way she's playing the game? And is she smarter than we give her credit for? Because she seems like a dumbass half the time, to be honest. They were treating her like a pawn this entire episode, Those guys, like, they are not like this group of Danny, Deshaun, Liana, and Shan. I feel like none of them send their loyalty except maybe Danny and Deshaun for each other.
Yeah. I don't know about Liana. I feel like, I don't know. She kept being like, "Oh, I want to like distinguish my game from other people's." I have no idea what. I don't know who she's trying to play with, or like what her plan is, and I don't know if that's because she doesn't have one or because of the edit that we've been given. But I have like very little opinion about her at all, except for she's kind of a dick. About like Erica and anyone who's not like in her alive.
Yeah.
Like she said, what did she say to about Xander? She goes, "I hate his face." when he was
That really upset
I
me, to
was
be
like-
honest. I was super. Plus, he's got a cute little face. Plus, he's a
Yeah.
cute little boy. Like,
and sometimes you're just petty with your competitors. I get it. You like say mean things, but I was just
exactly.
kind
But
of
like,
like,
there's certain things like I have rules. Certainly, even on the podcast, like we don't make fun of anything that people can't change. Don't make fun of his face. Like he
Yeah.
didn't choose that face. That's the face he was born with. You know what I mean? Like that's just not cool. I don't know. But she's just immature, I think.
yeah,
I think that the saying "look at his face," I hate
Think-
it. That's like
It was
that's
really
something that
upsetting.
people say about each other. I don't think it was really like aimed at him, like being
yeah.
like,
I know. I probably
yeah.
it just totally rubbed me the wrong way.
Me too, though. I felt the same way. But so the
Feel
person
like-
who's not getting any focus at all is Danny.
Mm.
Is that due to threat, or is he only a threat if he hangs with Deshaun? Because I feel like he's getting real far and no one's saying his name at all. Why?
I don't know. He's probably apparently playing a good social game, but we're not like seeing a whole lot of it. The only like I always like to say that the only plot point I get from Danny is that he likes to vote out the women because they're threatening to
Yes.
him.
Yes, that was him. I forgot about that.
And I'm just
Yeah.
so mesmerized by his dreads that I forget that he's an actual person. I just only like him for objectification. That's my feeling.
I don't know.
I
I feel like a lot of times this season they just like it's weird in the edit, but I think they've just spent a lot of time to like highlight the negatives in people, which is something that they typically have not done in the
Good
past.
point.
but
Good
there's-
point.
There's normally like people who you get irritated with like big time, and this season there's a lot of people that you got irritated with big time at
Mhm.
some point.
Mhm.
You may like them now, but they have moments where you're just like,
Yeah.
so
It's true. It's kind of an unlikable cast, huh?
I wouldn't really say
Like,
wouldn't
who do
really
you
say that
like
the-
on this? I mean, I like Ricard, but he's kind of a snake. I like Deshaun the most.
I love
of all
Ricard.
of them.
I like Erica.
I like Ricard a lot
Rip
too. You
Evie.
like Erica? Why? What do you
Why?
like about Erica?
I think she's playing a good scrappy game from the bottom. I don't know. I think that she's had a lot. People didn't like her for no reason on an original tribe before they even voted. I didn't see any reason. Like they didn't show us anything that she'd done that like
mhm.
made her weird. No one ever like described anything that like told me why they didn't like her. They just like outcasted her, and then from the beginning she's just been playing from that. So I don't know. I think she's doing a good job in that respect, and I like if she can make it far, like mad respect.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel like Xander is. I'm sorry.
Oh, I
go
like
on.
him too.
You go on.
I was gonna say I think most of the people that I actually liked were voted out. I think that they're trying to give people their moments after being voted out. They're like, oh yeah, I really like, and I had some controversial opinions. Like, I was like one of these people that hated Sydney in the beginning, and then in the end thought
Mm.
that she was like the funniest, bitchiest character for me to watch, and hated seeing her go. But out of like everyone, I don't know. Like, there's obviously people I'm rooting for, and there's people that I'm rooting against. I can't really say that I really love Danny or Deshaun. But that's just based on like the storyline that they're given. Like, I think that Deshaun definitely has had his moments of smugness that were just like
Mhm.
overshadowed by other people's negative moments. Like Deshaun is definitely, in my
Yeah.
opinion, like a little smug, but because you had Shan like going crazy and
Yeah.
being condescending, as people like to say, people focused it on Shan more so than Deshaun, and I'm just like, well, they're both kind of like bitchy towards each other.
Wait, but so why the hell did Deshaun lie to Ricard's face about where Ricard was like, "You threw my name out"?
I know that was pathetic.
Oh, he was like, "No, I
actually.
didn't." I'm like, "What the fuck? Why would you lie to him about it?"
I don't
Like, you already
understand why
know.
Deshaun and Danny were like, oh, Shan betrayed us for like telling Ricard, and I'm like, you literally did not even
include her.
exactly.
Like, you didn't tell her what was she supposed to do. Like, what? I don't know. I will say though, I think Danny, I've noticed like the last couple of episodes, he's in like every conversation. People keep going to him and telling him things. And
That's
that
what I
like says
mean.
something about his social
Exactly.
game.
Yeah, good point. He might really come from behind. I'm shocked he's not winning more challenges, and I also wonder if it's intentional. You
I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of the individual challenges haven't been like particularly his kind of strength, you know, like he wasn't going to win the
Right.
one where his giant feet have to stand on the tiny platform. You
Right,
know?
yeah,
Like,
shiny
most
feet.
of the
That challenge
challenges
was made for Erica and her
Yeah.
tiny feet.
most of the challenges seem to be like testing similar skill sets. Like it's always just endurance or hold this or stand here or hang on to this or
Yeah, puzzles, which Ricard just kills him.
Yeah,
He's
they've
good
not
at
done any puzzles for like immunity. It's just for reward.
mm,
Good point. Yeah.
it's early. There's time.
So, yeah, right. So we always on every episode project like who we think are contenders for the winner, as
Oh,
well as like MVP of the episode and the loser of the episode, who we the biggest asshole is what I say is the biggest flop because he's more polite than me. So, do you have any projected winners for Voda?
oh my gosh. Projected winners or people I want to win?
No, just projected. Projected.
I don't
'Cause
know.
our feelings about this change every episode, and that's kind of why we're doing it, to just see how our thoughts about it, change over time.
I think Ricard has a good chance. I think Danny has a good chance.
Danny, oh yeah.
Although I don't know if people would vote for Danny at the end
Enchanted.
because he had like a well-paying job in the past, and
moves.
people don't
Yeah.
want to.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I think I would take that into consideration as a jury member.
Why though? Like, why do we? I mean, who cares how much people?
Because I'm a
like, do you
socialist.
I mean, I am pretty much too, but so okay, fair enough. So you just want people to win because they.
I mean,
need
yeah,
the
if they made
money.
it to the end, like I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm like, if this is about
Yeah.
the money, then yeah.
I know Ricard. I feel like if anyone deserves the money, it's Ricard, in my opinion. That guy has a lot. I don't know why I even say that, but I feel that way. I want.
I'd be
Ricard
happy to
all
give
good
it to him.
things.
Yeah.
I know.
But I don't know. Who do you think? Who's your right now?
Yeah, now
projected
that
winner?
Stan's gone, Alex, who's gonna win?
Well, I think that honestly, we're at the point where they're just trying to make sure that the winner's not obvious. So I think that the people that are winner contenders, like in people's eyes, are probably not winning. I don't think Deshaun's winning. I don't think Ricard's winning. I think that it's gonna be Erica, just
Or
because
Danny?
like people want to say that Erica's invisible, like, or she was invisible at the beginning, and that was kind of true. But Erica still has had some moments, like people knew who Erica was going into merge, as opposed to Heather, who
I didn't know existed. Yeah.
Heather is still barely getting content. She's there for like 3 seconds, and then she
Yeah.
has another episode like this one where nobody cares about who Heather is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's
I don't
probably,
think she's gonna make it to the end somehow.
I think it's going to be Erica, or if not Erica, it's just probably not going to be something straightforward, in my opinion.
God, I just don't want it to be someone boring. Boring people should never win.
That's your MO.
anything. Yeah, seriously, I want to be entertained. But like Heather, I don't want Heather to win. She pisses me off.
Me neither. I don't think she's
I
made
don't think
herself
she's
deserve it
going
yet.
to.
Yeah.
They
Get
would
her
not.
over.
They would literally never. Like, I don't think they would do her that dirty with the edit if she was winning.
Yeah, probably not.
No
She's
way.
a goat. That's my feeling about her.
She gotta be
I
at
think
this
so.
point.
Yeah, she is. That's all she is. Okay, so who do you think was the MVP of this episode?
Erica.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was
kinda.
gonna say
I
that
mean,
too.
Yeah,
even though
Ricard
I
like
don't want her to
drove.
be.
yes, Ricard drove the vote onto Shan and he won immunity and he got the target off his back, whatever. I personally like still stand behind what I said earlier that it just didn't make a lot of sense for me to me for him to vote out the one person that was willing to tell him he was leaving. Whereas Erica, she knew that her name was floating around. She came up with a split plan at the last minute, convinced people to split the votes.
That was a
and-
good plan.
Yeah, she was awesome. She did great.
Yeah.
I literally just wrote on my notes on this. It just says "Love Erica" when that was happening.
That was your whole notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like every time you would think that Erica is like leaving, like she's just like I think Erica has a lot more control in the game and they're just refusing to show us probably because maybe they want to surprise us with her potentially making it to the end, if not winning.
Cool. So who was the biggest asshole of the episode?
Maybe Deshaun. I don't know. I did
Why do
not
you
like
say
when he
that?
just like lied to Ricard's face about that, and then was like,
I
he's
know.
like, all over the
I
map
didn't
today.
like dislike it. I was just like, you are such a coward.
To be honest,
Like,
it makes
own
sense.
your shit, you know?
It makes sense, honestly. Like he was really wishy-washy. He basically finished tribal council being the one individual being called out as a snake, and people typically like to say, "Oh, Deshaun is so sneaky. Deshaun is this. Deshaun is that." Like,
Is
wasn't a
anyone
good look.
was anyone saying that except for Shan?
Yeah, right. I don't
Ricard?
think so, actually.
Oh yeah,
That's a
Ricard.
good
Ricard
point.
actually had a whole confession about Deshaun lying to his face.
Oh well, yeah, that was after. Yeah, that was
Well,
after
that
he
because
lied to
he
his
lied
face.
to
That
him.
is fair.
It was a bad lie,
You're right.
too.
You're right.
Yeah.
But
He's
I
not
don't
getting a
know.
lot of hate.
I feel like personally the flop of the episode to me was
Heather.
yes. It's final. It's final 8, and they still think final 8, and she's basically still so inconsequential to what's happening that it's like kind of sad for her. Like if you're the final 8 and you get literally 0 content outside of being picked for a reward, and even then you're kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
Alex
that makes
always
sense.
has the edit as like his clues for what's going on.
I
I'm too
try to not
stupid
pay attention
fucking
to
notice
that.
that. I suspend my disbelief every single time I have issues. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Shan. Good
That
for
seems too
you.
easy.
I know, but I
never
still
really-
think
I never really
I
give
thought
it to
she was the
person
biggest
voted
asshole
out.
of every single episode, to be honest. I really did not like her at all.
I liked her at the
Alex liked
beginning.
her much more than I did.
Yeah.
I just
Tell us how you really feel.
well, no, but it's kind of interesting how we all have different. All of us have these values that we place in. We rank in some order of importance, right? And to me, I have a really big thing for religious hypocrites. And yes, the game is to lie, but the way that, like, not everyone has to play the game with no integrity. If you're really a good player, you can play with integrity, I feel. That's why I would never do well in this game. But
Yeah, that's tough.
I know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
just
know.
don't like Shan. I feel like Shan is a bitch. I feel like she's a liar. I feel like she's bitchy, right? Like that one conversation where she said to Sean, "Oh, okay, tell me more. Let me understand why you felt I wasn't." I was just like, "Who are you to talk to this man like that?" Like, she was so rude to him, so condescending, and such a liar. That was when I was like, she's dead to me forever.
Tell me how you really feel.
Okay, that's funny because
I like villains a lot too, by the way. Like Sandra Diaz will be my favorite player till the end of time. I'm not against the villains, but she just the craftiness with which she executed her lies had such an elegance about it that I was
I think Shan's I think she's kind of sloppy. That was what really got it for me. I think she was like so paranoid all the time.
Overt as hell.
I was like, it made it difficult for me to like be on her team because I was like, girl, relax.
I also feel like a lot of her tears were totally calculated and
Yeah,
not
I can't
real, and
speak
I
to
did
that
not
for
care
her,
that.
but
I just felt like, I don't know. She cried strategically, put it that way. That was my feeling.
yeah, maybe. I
Anyway,
don't know.
cool. So, any last things to say about this educational and scintillating episode of Survivor 41?
Only that I hope Shan telling Ricard that she would vote for him doesn't fuck him over.
Oh, interesting point.
I
Okay.
think that doesn't necessarily change anything about his perception in the game. I think that
No, but other people's perceptions of him.
I think
Right. That would make
Ricard
him more of a target. Yeah.
I think Ricard does not necessarily have a lot of backup anyway.
It's true. He does that.
We'll find out.
I
We
can't
will.
believe how many immunities he's winning and stuff. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't see any of that coming. Like, I didn't see him as a big physical threat, but dude is.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
I really like him. I have to say. I like him a lot. He's one of my favorites.
Me too.
I hope he stays on for a few more episodes just so I
To
can be
watch.
entertained by him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
See, and he can be pretty subversive. He just doesn't do it in such a mean way as Shan. I just think
He's really level headed, I think.
yeah, he is. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks to everyone who stopped by to watch this live, and to all of those people in the future who will watch this. And thank you, Barboda, for coming. It was super fun to have you, and I hope you'll come back sometime.
Yeah, I'll be there. Tell me when.
Sounds good. Yeah. I don't know. Same time next week. No, Thursdays. So.
Thank you. Sorry for almost snapping through this.
Oh
It's
my
great. You
God,
made it.
almost slept through our podcast.
Yeah, I don't know why it caught me
Wow.
so off guard that it was earlier. I should have
know.
remembered my
And we were
mistake.
thinking like this would be better for you. I was actually worried because I'm like, it would take a lot for Alex to miss something. Like I just, you're
It
very
just meant that I
reliable.
was like, you know.
I know, poor thing. You stay up so late for this. I really appreciate you. Anyway, thanks everyone. Tune in Sunday night for 90 Day Fiance and Love After Lockup podcast.
Mhm.
We will see you back here next time. Bye.